Many blessings, guys. What's going on, beautiful souls? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nella Mahat, and I'm feeling truly grateful to be here. Sorry, I'm trying to there's something off. Oh my God, just one card. Okay, sorry. I was trying to get myself together. All right, so welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm sending you guys so much love. This is going to be the message or the messages we need to be aware of. I would like to share with you guys that today, August 11, the planet Mars moved into Cancer. And now, what does that mean? What does that look like? My love. So, here we go. So, Mars is the planet of action, right? So, it's about willpower, being assertive, determination. Mars energy is very dynamic, okay? It's movement forward. Then we have Cancer, the house, the home, the emotions, our ancestors, okay? Our psychology, like how do we feel about our emotions and how we analyze and process emotions. So it's about our emotional world, okay? It's about memory too. And so there's a lot going on, okay? There's a lot of intensity. And now how you experience this is going to be different because we're talking about chemistry and we're talking about the gift of authenticity. And so with that being said, the solar eclipse is going to be in the sign of Leo. We are all feeling that too. And Leo is about Tiferet in the tree of life, okay? So it's about the heart. Leo energy, authenticity, creativity, heart and mind coherence, right? Because it's in the middle pillar too. Illumination, divine revelations, all right? Innocence. And so we are going to ask for what are the messages that we need to know, okay? Well, what's going on? Let's just see. Temperance. Ooh. Things are cooking. Queen of Swords. The energy of the Nine of Cups. The nine. Yeah. Happiness. Uh-oh. Here comes Venus. Venus in Scorpio. And here comes more Venus. Venus in Virgo. Magician in the house. Sorry about my nails. I have to go to a nail salon. Clearly, right? All right, let's see what else. We have Temperance. Wow. Major Arcana's coming in hot here. We have the Ace of Disc. We have the Sun in Virgo. And we have the Five of Swords here. All right, cool. And the Ten of Cups, right? Ten of Cups. There it is. Look at that. Can you see a tree of life? Yes. All cups being illuminated. Okay, so what is it that we need to be aware of? What's happening? You know, what is out there? I want you guys to open yourself up to receiving these messages as, you know, all of this is potential. That's the truth. Okay, so what do I see here as potential? Well, I see an opportunity, a door that opens up, clarity. And now, it's important to stay open and receptive though to receiving divine guidance. So how open you are to receive life and how you're going to receive life, and if you choose to move with life and life challenges, you know, that's going to determine the outcome of the situation. Are we acting from scarcity or are we acting from abundance? Are we transforming or are we just saying that we're transforming, right? Because there's a call here to embody. This is about our I am. If I am abundance, I'm prosperity, right? Then The magician, I do not have to be taking action fearing that the same outcomes of the past are going to happen, right? If I have transformed the way I think, my perception, my perspective, right? If I'm using masculine and feminine energy. And so here, Venus is going to gestate a positive outcome. Oh, the magician, right? Holding the elements in divine perfection, dancing together. So this is about integrating opposites. This is about being very intentional, knowing our intentions. The magician is not waiting for the world to change. The magician is not waiting to be safe. The magician is not codependent or dependent on anything, only the creator. And so the magician, right, embodies the will of the creator. And because she is open to divine guidance, the Queen of Swords, and it takes action, right, uses logic and intuition, temperance, then what happens? Here comes harvest. Yes, cultivating, right? The magician, temperance, the empress, these energies are going to cultivate the seed of potentiality that the creator is always giving us. What does that mean and what does that look like? Well, if you are and if you have been experiencing a spiritual awakening, you're being called into correction. Part of correcting means you have to do and be proactive with ancestral healing, right? And so what happens here? You're being called to face life. It's not about escaping life. It's not about, oh my God, I have this huge mission and I have to be saving the world and all of this. No, this is about my own saving. I am the prayer and the answer that my ancestors had been, or that my ancestors did ask for. You are the answer. You are the answer. So you must become the change. You must become the person who brings justice to your tree of life. And so what happens? You have to go through a process of correction. You have to review all your desires and transmute the going into extremes. You must transmute that into what, right? That's why the Empress, you see here, this one is about grace. So vices versus virtues. Or yes, sorry. You see? And so what happens? Life is going to give you and present you situations that are going to trigger the shit out of you, of your insecurities, of your fears, conscious and unconscious. Life is going to show you through your dreams your own attachments, your own insecurities, your own expectations. It's going to show you the archetypes living in your life, the things you fear. Remember, we're talking about the unconscious. We're talking about archetypes. I want you to sit with that. Your job, part of the correction, is to seek a spiritual understanding, is to pursue knowledge, is to educate yourself. The Empress is the energy of the divine feminine, a lover mother. She's going to call you into the cultivation of discernment. You see? So what do I see here? I see an opportunity for many of you to harvest something different. However, it's going to happen through your real, tangible change. It's about Scorpio transformation. And it's going to be about Virgo, right? Which is going to ask you to find details, to pay attention to your analysis. How do you integrate life? What narratives are you giving your spiritual awakening? Are you going beyond what you hear out there and into exploring, seeking, researching, educating yourself? So with this Five of Swords here, this is confusion. This is the energy of feeling conflicted. Within me, and conflicted, separation consciousness, having conscious and unconscious expectations that are unrealistic. Okay, this is about defensiveness too. Resistance to change, resistance to being open to new perspectives, to new ways of doing things, to new ways of thinking. Here, Venus is contaminated, let's say, fix water, chronic resentment, okay, fears, disappointments, twisted desires that do not come from a place of virtue, they come from the primal Mercury. And so we have to work to transmuting this. What still is living in your waters, in your memory, in the waters of your unconscious and in your DNA. We're going to have to go deep, open ourselves up to feeling. This is not about escaping and intellectualizing emotions in life and situations. This is about, all right, I'm going to honor my Venus, which means there's an aspect of me that experience emotions and sometimes they're not very comfortable. And adding the aspect to where sometimes in life it's okay that we feel lost, confused, alone, the pain of healing, the wound of not belonging, of not feeling worthy, of feeling desperate, the memories of survival, all of that is valid. It's okay to pause. It is okay to take time to go there and to transmute this. And what is super important is, what is the meaning I'm gonna give all those experiences? Because based on your belief systems, the meanings and the narratives, you're writing a story, and that will be the outcome. So if you're ready to harvest something different, you have to put the work. You have to think differently. You have to marry opposites. You have to research, study, prepare, and honor the cycles of your becoming. Honor the cycles of understanding how the elements works from within you, from the above, from the spiritual into the mental, into the emotional, into the physical. How are you working with the elements? If your desire is to create something and manifest happiness, right? This is the energy of happiness. But happiness is not separated from experiencing this. Happiness comes as the result of me acknowledging this. Where am I still holding on to sorrow, to resentment, to codependency, to dependency, to messed up perceptions and perspective about myself, self-imposed limitations? Where am I still are telling myself that I can't, that I'm not going to be able, that I'm too old, that I'm too this, that are all of the excuses, right? Happiness happens when there's illumination. That's why there's illumination. Oh my God, I'm going to cry this shit and I'm going to let it go. I'm going to honor it. And now I'm going to have to change though. And what happens when you change and transform? Happiness. But this is a process. It's life. We as humans have been so conditioned to fight the complexity of our humanness. And what happens? We go to extremes. We intellectualize life. We intellectualize everything because feeling pain and feeling uncomfortable emotions is a pain in the ass. Yes, it is. Can I say this here on YouTube? I don't know. This is how I'm experiencing the energy. And I know when I'm using these words, it's because yes, I'm feeling intensity And I feel that there's an aspect of, oh, I'm being truthful, right? And I feel like that's why I'm using these cursing words, because I know what it takes to move through all of this, because I'm doing it with you, and I've been doing it for years and years and years and years and years, okay? And I have come into the peace and the understanding that this is about life. It's about your journey in life. Yes. Let's see. What else? All right. Thank you for being here. I know my work is different because it's real. I'm not going to be here selling you illusions and there's, you know what I mean? No, I honor you. I honor the sacred. We're talking about spiritual alchemy. We're talking about the mysteries of life. We're talking about real transmutation of pain, sorrow, hardcore pain, survival. All right, my love, let's go. Emotions are running high. And sorry about my nails, it's embarrassing with the super moon. A new start is coming. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Adjustments are required. Hold your vision. Two more. Nothing will come of this situation. Last one, believe in the impossible. All right, my loves, I want to send you, so much positive energy. Let's keep it real. There's so much beauty in honesty. And like I said, you're not doing this alone. There are some people like you and I, there are some of us who are actually freaking facing the reality of what's behind a spiritual awakening. And this is not for those who seek no truth and depth to things. This journey is going to require commitment, discipline, consistency, honesty, and real transformation. All right. May you be blessed on your journey. Ciao, ciao. Thank you.